So this is a session for data ingestion. It's a continual class. Sharing the screen. So oops, okay. So I just recently set up a new VM. Okay. I'm just booting up. Okay. Just identify my IP address. It's 172.16.200.146. Copy that. Okay. Right. I hope this should be visible for you guys. So I'm trying to connect through SSH, my VM, and my password is Cloudera, yes. So this is a very fresh Cloudera VM now. So I hope nothing is inside. Since this is the first time, it takes a bit time. Okay, nothing to show. Okay, so in data ingestion, we saw a scoop today. So the practicals before we start scoop, we need to set certain environments. Like I said, scoop is something. It's kind of importing and exporting tool between Hadoop and other database. So what we are going to do now is setting up an environment. So we don't have MySQL in the Cloudera VM. So what I do here, the first step I do is like I just get into root user and trying to install MySQL server. Okay. So it's finding for the mirrors. It's updating the primary database, everything. I don't know why it's so slow now. Okay, so while setting up the environment, what we will be doing in once we set, once we download and install this MySQL server, we'll start the MySQL service basically. Then we'll get into the MySQL service. Basically, by typing MySQL space hyphen u space root hyphen p. Okay, that is your password. So, and before that, we'll set the password as well. Uh, and also we'll see how what are the databases available at MySQL, and then we will try to import few data from MySQL to Hadoop. Okay, we'll see that how. So I hope you remember that in Scoop by default it takes 4 mappers, right? Okay, it's done. I think almost done. I type yes. Okay. Uh, okay. So this MySQL is completed. I mean, like the installation is done. So what I do is I need to start the MySQL service. Okay. For that I need to go to sudo services server. Uh, okay. SQL list. Okay. Sudo service MySQL d server. Okay. What I need to do? Okay, so I'm supposed to type either one of these. Okay, so I need to do start. So I'm starting it. That's it. It's done. It says starting my SQL service basically. The server is started. Now let's see. Secure hyphen u root hyphen p hyphen. Okay, so what I did is like I just I'm giving a command like please get into MySQL, and the username is root, and the password is I didn't type. So basically, the first time when you install MySQL, there is no password set. Okay, so I just hit enter, so it's inside. So you can see that, right? Okay. So we will set a new password as well. Before that, we will see like what is inside the MySQL. Let's check is there any available databases inside. To check the database, you need to type show databases and some column. That's it. So these are the databases, guys. So you can find one test is available and this one. So these are all auto-generated. For the first time, you will find this one. So in this screen, you cannot clear. And what I do here, I just type exit to exit this one, MySQL. Let's create a password for this. For that, the first time I need to type MySQL admin -u root password. Just type cloud era. Okay. Now let's see cloud era. Wait, so it's entering. So I successfully changed the password for MySQL. Now what I do in the lab, I have okay, I have some SQL for I mean like basically I just downloaded it from in the phase 2. I just downloaded some database from the MySQL website, and after that I mean like here. So see, this is the path where from where I downloaded the dataset. And next, what I'm doing is like I'll try to create a new database. Okay, and so we'll get into this one. Just copy this one. And, basically, I'm in a Mac environment, guys. So I'm just copied. Okay, so I can find. I have moved. I have moved one file to the desktop. Let's see that. Huh? Okay, see yes. Okay, so what I did is like I just moved this database file to desktop, basically for experimenting to demonstrate you guys how Scoop works. So this will be the SQL file. This will be the database. So what I do is like we have MySQL. We will load this database into the MySQL. Okay. For that, we need to type source w. Okay, so I'm just, oh, I'm sorry, I need to get into MySQL first. MySQL -u root -p Cloudera is my password. Oh man. Okay, I'm in. Okay, so I'm inside my MySQL. So how I load the database world is by typing this world dot. So now it's loading, guys. You can see it. So it's all loaded. So let's see whether it's loaded or not. What I need to do is like let's check the database by typing show databases. Right. So you can see that a database named world has been updated. Let's use this world database. So I started using out of that 4 database. I'm using world, and now let's see what's inside that. Let's see the contents. Let's see the tables. Show tables. Wow. So the tables we have city, country, and country language. Okay. So let's do some simple query. Let's see what is there in city. Select star from city. Okay, so you can find this tables inside the city. It looked very simple, right? So there are so many contents inside. All right, so let's get into another environment. Hope you remember I told you I told you about connectors. Let's see whether the connectors are available. So in this Cloudera distribution, you are using 4.4 version 4.4, so it should be there. But however, I mean, like let's check whether it's available or not. These are the path for downloading downloading the connectors and updating and to check. See, so you are having scoop 1.4.3 for Cloudera 4.4. This is a jar file. Okay, so you need not to download the JDBC file, but basically like when you are in production, you are setting up something for the first time. You need to check this path basically and identify whether you have the jar file, the JDBC file or not. Okay, and basically you can find the JDBC connector for MySQL in this path. So this is how I mean, like you can download it. This is the path where you can download the connector. Okay, you can just skip login and sign up and just go into the download file. Okay, so I don't think I need it. So better to skip that steps. But in production, yes, you can check that. Okay, and once you download, place that for jar file inside user library scoop. Okay, so now we are all good to go. So let's start importing few things. Let's do that. So basically, for the first step, what we do, I'm going to see. I'll tell you. So what I did is I'm trying to import. The first thing I'm trying to do is import using the connector, the JDBC connector. I'll show you. It's started running. I'll show you. I am trying to connect MySQL using JDBC, which basically this connector was provided by MySQL vendor, and to the local host and to the world table. Okay, I mean world is just a DB name, right? So here local host will be since this is a very tiny fake cluster we are using as a we are using Cloudera, but in real time you need to type some IP address like your server name, server address, then your server name and your DB name here. Okay, and what we are doing here is we are trying to find the table which is inside the city. Okay, and also I'm typing my username as root, and in production you will be given as your own username here, and the password here, Cloudera. Okay, so it started running jobs. Oh, that's great. It's faster. So I mean, I didn't expect it will run in a fraction of seconds. So what this screen says like, let's identify what are the things here. Once I started the Cloudera, I'm sorry, the scoop import function. So it started preparing its environment, and it started executing the statement like select T star from city, and it started limiting, and after that it started identifying for map reduce, then it tried to identify the core jar. There is map reduce core jar, and it started writing jar files under I mean, like the first step it did is a temporary folder, temporary file was created. Okay, and it says it looks like we are importing MySQL. Yes, we did that, and that was faster. It's giving some hint. You can type like this for faster usage, and then it started importing city. You can see the time. By this time, it started importing the city, and was parsing the arguments, everything by itself. And basically, we identified that it was bound by minimum ID and maximum ID from the city. Okay, and this will be the file name job ID. And as I said, by default, it will have four mappers. So you can find here. So you can see it launched four map tasks, right? And let's see the split size. See, once the job is completed, this will be the file name. So each mapper's time is mentioned here. 1, 2, 3, 4. and its input record says like 4079 bytes, and this is the input split bytes. So total transferred in this speed, and totally it took 70 seconds to complete this job. So we retrieved 4079. So see, so there was like nearly 400 and sorry 4079 files were given, and we received as it is. So there is zero data loss. So that's a great thing. So let's see like before that, let me tell you something. Okay, so I hope I told you this one. It's the same command I copied here. So you need to change the IP address here and mention your DB name and the table city, username, and the password. Okay. So I'm just sharing you this file for your reference, guys. So please go over that. It's very easy file. I mean, like you can just simply copy paste if you want, but I would recommend you to type manually so that you get in touch with that. Okay. And here in Scoop, it's not only that we can look for table, we also can process few queries. Okay, like see in the next here. So instead of table, we started typing query space and single quote, or you can also mention double quote, but I have mentioned single quote because there is a condition here. So I'm selecting country, select from country or continent, city name from country join. So I'm using join here, city on. There are some queries. Okay, so you can process queries here, and you need to mention the conditions here, and as usual. And when you're doing this password things and all, you need to mention the directory. Okay, so the target directory would be like this. Okay, and m-m1 is your setting mappers one. Okay, so that means like only one mapper will be running. Okay, only one mapper will be assigned here. Okay, all right. So I have okay. Okay, so like I'm also sharing you this content. I mean this link. Basically, it's a very good guide. Basically for Scoop, and very useful before you're attempting to anything. Basically, Scoop interacts with Hive and HBase and other parts of other tools of Hadoop. So we will see more on that maybe later point in time, or on the day when we are trying practicals. Okay. So all good for now. So I have showed you something. Let me check that this has been completed. Yes, completed. But let me show you. I mean, like, see, there was a Java file created, and it's the task was completed. Yeah. So let me see. Oops. Let me check that. Okay. So you can see like there was four different mappers. It completed the jobs, so you can check the logs as well, and it says it's success, and you can check the logs and other things for your for debugging things. So this was the first mapper. Let's check this one. Okay, I do fs-cat dot cp hyphen fart hyphen m hyphen 00000. Okay, so okay, so you can see the results here. The job was successful here. So everything was retrieved, and this was just from the okay, yeah, from here. So from here, you can find everything has been processed. So this is how, guys. I mean, like these are the very basic steps for interacting with any database server with Hadoop system. Okay. So I hope this practical session has been useful for you, should be fruitful for you in future, and I believe it should be understandable. Okay. So, however, guys, I'm just going to share you some documents as well for as an assignment. Please try yourself, and this should be. I mean, like it's very easy for you guys. Okay, once you do start doing things, it will be very easier for you. Right. So, thank you so much, guys. The time is 2:15. I need to wake by 6 o'clock. I have a class for. I'm gonna call. I'm taking machine learning for some Canadian students. So thank you so much, guys, and please follow the lab. I have mentioned step by step everything. Also, I'm adding few more commands. Uh, you can go one by one. Okay. So it's all just for you guys. And this one, like I just referred now. So after completing the steps, get into the more commands file. Okay. Right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.